Hello everyone. So we'll continue the analysis of the multi-stage air compressor with this particular video. So before you come to this video, you have to refer the previous video which explains you about what is multi-stage air compression and how it is done, what are the different stages in it, and what are the advantages of it. Everything has been analyzed in that previous video. Kindly watch it and have the basics of it and then come to this particular video here. Okay. Now, so in this video what we will be doing is we will be deriving the conditions for minimum work input. That means in order to run the compressor you have to give certain work input to it, correct? So what should be the condition that I must satisfy so that I would give the minimum work input to the compressor but yet get the same delivery pressure. So whatever the delivery pressure you are opting for, you will be getting the same delivery pressure no matter how, but what are the minimum conditions that I should satisfy so that I could give minimum work input but the same delivery pressure. So that is the condition we are going to analyze and derive in this particular thing. Okay. Now, so derive an expression for the condition for minimum work input required for two-stage compressor with perfect intercooling. So what is perfect intercooling? I will be explaining further. Okay. Show that even this can also be asked in your examinations. So show that for the perfect intercooling, stage pressure ratio remains same. That is stage pressure ratio in the sense the pressure ratio between the stages. So this is known as stage pressure ratio remain the same in multi-stage air compressor, and hence prove that Z. So this is Z. So Z is equals to P to the suffix x plus 1 divided by Pi, where Z is stage pressure ratio, okay, and Pi is your initial pressure and x is your number of stages. Okay, x is your number of stages. So you have to prove this particular expression at the last. Predominantly we have to derive an expression for the condition of minimum work input for the in case of a perfect intercooling. Okay, we shall see how it is done. Okay, now so this is the PV diagram of a two-stage air compression process. Okay, so if you observe two-stage air compression process, it takes place in three different pressure levels here. This is one, okay, and this is number 2, and this is number 3 here, correct? So these three pressure levels are very much important. Okay, so this pressure level, I mean to say P1, is the pressure at which the air is being sucked inside a cylinder. That means it is a pressure at which you are supplying the air to a compressor. Okay, so that is your P1. And what is P3? P3 is that particular pressure at which you are getting a delivery out from the compressor. Okay, so at what pressure you are getting output from the compressor is your P2. So that means P1 is your supply pressure and P2 is your delivery pressure. That is what it means. Then what is Pi? Let us try to analyze this. So this whole process of air compression is going to take place in two different cylinders. I have told you in the multi-stage compression process. So here it is a two-stage compressor, that's why it is taking place in two different cylinders. Now this is your cylinder number 1 and this is your cylinder number 2. Okay, so what is Pi? I was explaining you. So Pi is that pressure at which the cylinder number 1 gives the output, and Pi is that particular pressure at which the cylinder number 2 gets the input. Getting it? So at intermediate pressure is that particular pressure which is the same pressure for both the cases, but it is an input pressure for cylinder number 2 and it is an output pressure for cylinder number 1. So that is known as your intermediate pressure. Okay. Now if at all I want to increase or decrease the work input to the system, let us see what are the different parameters that I can vary in order to do so. Okay, so now P2 is your delivery pressure. This has a constraint. That means if your air compressor is designed to execute in such a pressure, so what you will be doing, you cannot change the output pressure, correct? So you are expecting it to be a 10 bar compressor. That means you expect 10 bar to come out of the compressor, not more, not less. Okay, if you buy a 12 bar compressor, if you are getting a 15 bar output, then it will spoil the whole system, is it? So that means the output pressure of any compressor, cannot be varied because of the design constraints. That is one thing. Second thing is your input, the pressure at which you are inputting the air into the compressor, that also cannot be varied. It would be usually atmospheric pressure, as it you cannot pressurize the fluid and then send it to a compressor. That is meaningless, correct? So this P1, that is the pressure at which you are supplying the air, and the P2, the pressure at which you are getting output from the compressor, cannot be changed. Okay, if those cannot be changed, then what are the other things can I change? Okay, I can change PI. Okay, I can change PI. What is PI? It is an intermediate pressure. Now, see, how could I change the PI? I can alter the process. If I change polytropic process to an isothermal process, I would change PI. Okay, how? I will explain you. Okay, now you see, you know that in the comparison video, in the previous video, what we have observed is the polytropic process, that is this particular process here, will take lot of work into it. So in order to have a polytropic process, you require huge amount of work input. So that's why an isothermal process is always preferred, I said. Why isothermal process is preferred? Why? Because it reduces the work input. So this is your isothermal process. Okay, this is your isothermal process. So this isothermal process is saving this much amount of energy. I mean to say, this much amount of work input to the system, but yet you are getting the same pressure at the output. So pressure is the main criteria for us. So pressure you are getting by reduced work. That's why you always prefer an isothermal process. Okay. So that is the thing. Let us see one by one here. Consider the below figure for simplicity. Let us neglect the clearance volume. So clearance volume is being neglected. That's why it is on the y-axis. Okay. Let P1, Pi, P2 be the suction pressure, intermediate pressure, and discharge pressure respectively. So P1 is your what? P1 is your suction pressure, and Pi is your intermediate pressure, and P2 is your delivery pressure. Okay. Now, net work done per cycle of a single stage air compressor is given by. So this is the net work done when it is applied for a single stage air compressor. If I assume that the whole multi-stage air compression is being carried out in a single stage. See, I have tracing it with the red line that indicates this whole thing is a single stage air compression process. I can apply the same work done expression which you have derived in your previous classes for this whole thing at a stretch. So that if you apply that particular expression at a whole stretch, you will get this particular expression here. Okay. So that is n by n minus 1 P1 V1 into, actually it is P5 by P1. So P5 is also equal to P2, which I have taken it as P2. So it is P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. So this I will be taking it as equation number 1. Okay, as the process 1 to 5, see, trace the process 1 to 5 here. So this is the process 1 to 5. Which process it is? It is nothing but a polytropic process, correct? So as the process 1 to 5 is a polytropic process, the delivery temperature is given by. So for a polytropic process, first remember what is the PVT conversion equation. So PVT conversion equation for a polytropic process states as, if it is 1 to 2, it is P1 by P2, that is equal to V2 by V1 whole to the power of gamma, that is equal to T1 by T2 whole to the power of gamma divided by gamma minus 1. Gamma is for adiabatic, you can change it to n. N is your polytropic index, right? So it is P1 by P2, that is equal to V2 by V1 whole to the power of n, that is equal to T1 by T2 whole to the power of n divided by n minus 1. So similarly, you apply for the process 1 to 5 here. So you apply for the process 1 to 5, you will get it as T5 by T1 is equals to P5 by P1 whole to the power of n by n minus 1. So you are interchanging the term, so it is n minus 1 by n here. So you want T5 from this, take it to the either side, P5 is replaced as P2 here, and you will get your equation number 2. Net work done per cycle without intercooling for two-stage air compression is given by, see, net work done without intercooling. So in the two different stages. So first stage is this particular thing. Okay. So this is without intercooling, in the sense it is going in a polytropic way. Okay. Now this is your first thing. Second area is this particular area here, which I am tracing. Kindly watch it. Yes, so this is your second area. So this is your first and this is your second, correct? So area under that is also given by the same expression. Apply this for this particular cylinder as well as for this particular cylinder, you will get this. Okay, so addition of these two will give you this one. Now, equation 3 and 1 gives the same result, and the final temperature is again given by the equation 2 as the area under the curves are same. That is what you can either calculate individually, you can calculate the work done for 1 and you can calculate the work done for 2 and then add them to get the total work output, or you can apply the whole thing. Considering this as a whole thing, you can apply like this. So consider this as a single stage compressor and apply. So basically what I want to try say is this expression is equal to this expression. Okay, so if you add the both to single stage compressor, but if you apply the single stage compressor is also same. Okay. Next, network done per cycle with perfect intercooling is given by. See, when does a perfect intercooling happens? This is very important to understand. See, from process 1 to 4, no doubt it will take place in a polytropic way, which is this one. Okay, so this is your polytropic way. And 4 to 5 can take place in a polytropic way or in an isothermal way. Okay, if it takes in a polytropic way, it will trace the same curve. But what I am doing is I am taking my intercooler here. So if because of the presence of the intercooler, what happens? The temperature drops from 4 to 2 like this. So this is because of the intercooler. Intercooler temperature drops and it traces the isothermal curve like this. And it traces what? Isothermal curve. So which I am indicated in the dotted line here. Okay. So how much amount of work you have reduced? So this much amount of work you have reduced. If you want to calculate work done in case of second cylinder which goes in isothermal way, this is the area you have to calculate. Getting it? So this is the area you have to calculate. That is what it has been done here. So area 1471, it is given as this and given as this. As the process from 2 to 3 is a polytropic, delivery temperature, again apply the PVT conversion equation for the process 2 to 3, you will get this. Okay. Now, for perfect intercooling, T1 is equals to T2. As I said you, what is perfect intercooling? Perfect intercooling means if your intercooler is so perfect that it could make the temperature which is input coming input to the first cylinder, okay, that is T1. Suppose I will draw you with an example. So this is your first cylinder number 1 and this is your cylinder number 2, you guess. So this is 1 and this is 2, and in between the cylinders you have your intercooler. Okay, so this is your intercooler here. Okay, so if here the temperature is T1, okay, because of the compression in the first cylinder, it will be T2 at the outlet. Okay, if your intercooler is perfect, what happens? The T2 would be reduced back to T1. That means after intercooler, the temperature will be again T1. Okay, so that means basically what happens, your T1 would be equal to T2 in case of a perfect intercooling. Okay, so that is what it is written here now. T1 is equals to T2 for the perfect intercooling. As the process 1 to 2 is isothermal, P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. Why? Because MRT1 is equals to MRT2. MRT1 is again P1 V1. MRT2 is again P2 V2. So T1 is equals to T2. Therefore P1 V1 equal to P2 and V2. And if you look the PV diagram, you will get this. Okay, let me clear this. So P4 equal to P2 equal to Pi. So all the pressure, just notations are different, but P4 equal to P2 equal to Pi, which is written here. Okay, so substituting all these conditions in equation number 4, which is this particular equation, you will get this equation. Have P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. So you can take P1 V1 as common, which I have taken here. Okay, Pi by P1 whole to the power of n by n minus 1 by n, and this term and this term I have taken here. So minus 1, okay, minus 1 will be minus 2. Okay, so that is how you will get this particular expression after this. So we need to understand, we have just discussed meanwhile ago that the only influencer for the work input is your intermediate pressure, not the output pressure which is P2, not the input pressure which is P1. The only influencer for the work input is your PI. So you have to differentiate the work done expression of work output expression of a multi-stage compressor with respect to PI, so that you will get to the condition of the minimum work input. So if you differentiate work done expression with respect to PI, let us see first of all what is work done expression. So this is your work done expression which you have just derived, correct? So in this expression, I must differentiate with respect to PI. Look where PI is. PI is here as well as here, correct? So this particular thing becomes constant. So n is anyhow constant. P1 we have treated as constant and V1 we have treated as constant. So this particular thing has no meaning. So I can take only this thing. Okay. Again, this is constant here. So I would take only this particular part of that expression. Okay, which I have taken here. Okay, now you need to differentiate with respect to PI here. See, the whole to the power of n minus 1 in the sense, this n minus 1 by n is for the numerator as well as for the denominator. So for denominator it is P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n, which I have taken here. Okay. Now, Pi whole to the power of n minus 1 by n need to be differentiated. What is x to the power of n differentiation? It is n into x to the power of n minus 1, correct? So Pi whole to the power of n minus 1 into n differentiation is n minus 1 by n into Pi whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. Okay. Similarly, you carry out the differentiation for this particular term, you will get this. Okay. So after that, what happens? Just simplify the things. So you take a LCM, you will get here. Okay. And you will get minus anyhow here. So that minus, you can, with that minus, you can transfer this whole term to the either side of the 0, so that it becomes positive, which I have done here. See, you will get this expression. Now, what you have to do is take the PI values on the one side and P1, P2 values on the other side. So on LHS, keep all the PI values here. On the RHS, keep all P1 and P2 values. Okay. So if you do so, what it will be PI values you have taken, and simplify the PI values powers. So it would be Pi whole to the power of 2 into n minus 1 by n, that is equal to P1 P2 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n. So what happens? N minus 1 by n get cancels. So it will be remaining with Pi square, that is equal to P1 and P2. So if you transfer the square root to the other side, square to the other side, what it happens? It becomes a square root of it. So Pi is equals to square root of P1 and P2. So by this, what is your conclusion, guys? So if your intermediate pressure, listen this carefully, if your intermediate pressure is equal to square root times the product of suction and delivery pressures, then you are in a optimal work input condition. That means the whatever work input you are giving now is minimal. When it is minimal? When your intermediate pressure is equal to square root of P1 and P2. So that is the condition by which you obtain the minimum work input. Okay. So from the above expression, you can even write this particular thing, which is Pi divided by P1, that is equal to P2 divided by Pi. So substituting this in equation number 5, which is the work done expression we have just derived, just substitute the things and you will get this expression. Okay. And what does this expression states? This expression gives the value of minimum, or I was discussing, right? What is the minimum work input, minimum work input, minimum work input? This is the minimum work input you are giving. When this is subjected to the condition that your PI value must be equal to square root times of P1 into P2. If your Pi value is square root times of P1 and P2, then only you can use this expression. Okay. Next, in terms of, see, this is in terms of intermediate pressure. You can even modify this expression, have like Pi is what? Pi is square root times of P1 and P2. So Pi, I can write it as P1 and P2 whole to the power of 1 by 2, is it? So Pi, see this particular Pi here, I am writing it as what? P1 and P2 whole to the power of 1 by 2 here. Okay. So simplify further, you will get this particular expression here. And this expression is also minimum work input expression, but the thing is, it is in terms of RP. That means you have a pressure ratio here. Okay. So remember this expression and remember this expression, which are very much useful for the problems. Okay. Let us see further. See these expressions which we have derived for the work input expression, minimum work input expression, and the condition of minimum work input, that is Pi is equals to square root of P1 and P2, are for the two cylinder arrangement, or it is for the two stage air compressor, correct? Now if there are more than two stages, that means it is 3, 4, 5, if there are more than two stages, what you have to do, you have to use this expression here. Okay, so this expression will be valid for a compressor with a multi-stage, that means more than two stages, where n is your number of stages. If you substitute n is equals to 2, you will get back the previous expression, which is this. Okay, so that is how it is. So remember all these expressions, which are very much important for the problems. See, for an ideal compressor with n number of stages, you have to prove this particular thing at the last. Okay, how? We shall see now. Okay, now this is your air compression phenomenon. So if this particular thing takes place in number of stages, I mean to say like this, it is taking place in numerous stages, but subjected to the condition that the pressure ratio, this means here it is 1, this is second cylinder, this is third cylinder, this is fourth, okay, this is fifth, this is sixth, and so on, correct? So it is taking place in a multiple cylinder arrangement subjected to the condition that pressure ratio at every stage, remains same, that is P1 by P2 is equals to P3 by P2, that is equals to P4 by P3, and so on. Okay, it has a constant pressure ratio, but means at every stage it is developing an equal amount of pressure. If such a situation, so it will be going up to Pn plus 1 divided by Pn. The pressure ratio I will be taking it as x. Okay. Now if I equate the first term and the x, what I will get? P2 by P1 is equals to x, so P2 is equals to x times of P1, correct? Similarly, if I equate second term with x, that is P3 by P2 is equals to x, then P3 is equals to P2 times of x. P2 I have just noted down as x times of P1. So if I substitute P2 value as x times of P1, x into x will be x square and P1 as it is. Okay. Similarly, if I equate this particular thing with this, it would be P4 by P3 is x, so P4 is equals to x times of P3. Okay, I know the value of P3 which I have just derived here, that is x square into P1. If I substitute P3 as x square into P1, x into x will be x cube, P1 remains. If I continue the same process, what happens? Pn plus 1 will be equal to x times of P to the suffix n, that would be equal to x to the power of n into P1. Okay, so you can write it as, if you equate these two, you can write it as x to the power of n, that is equals to Pn plus 1 divided by P1. So Pn plus 1 divided by P1 is nothing but your Rp. Okay, that is the final thing which you are asked to show, okay, in the second part of the question. So this is the analysis of all the multi-stage air compressors. Kindly note the conditions for work done and optimal conditions, that is Pi is equals to square root of P1 and P2, and even this particular expression, okay, which are very much important for the problems. By this you are completing the theory part of this. From the next videos we will be discussing the problems on this.